Merciful unto us, give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalava Kati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bandhamui Savadana Mate Bandhamui Savadana Mate Jara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatori Aja Jara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatori Aja Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoyte Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoyte Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kori Aikya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kori Aikya Arana koi ho mane asha Arana koi ho mane asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Jai Prasare Pure Sarva Asha Jai Prasare Pure Sarva Asha Chakurana dilo jai janme janme Prabhu se Chakurana dilo jai janme janme Prabhu se Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinash Jate Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinash Jate Vede Gai Jahara Charita Vede Gai Jahara Charita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Prabhu Koro Doya Deha More Parachaya Prabhu Koro Doya Deha More Parachaya Eva Vasa Gusuki Bhuvana Eva Vasa Gusuki Bhuvana Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Srila Prabhupada Lokera Jivana Prabhu Kara Daya Deha More Parachaya Prabhu Kara Daya Deha More Parachaya Prabhu Kara Daya Deha More Parachaya Eva Sagu Suki Bhuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Dua Paralala Sharana Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharina Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatyarishatarina. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharina Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatyarishatarina. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Chaitanya Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari Jai Satchinandana Jai Satchinandana Jai Satchinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Gaura Hari Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nittai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nittai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Gauranitai. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की गोपवनंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद दिव्यांग ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति विनंत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। ISKCON विभूति फंडाचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद दिव्यांग ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kundagiri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Maharani ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Festival of Holy Name ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanandi. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. It's so nice to see so many devotees visiting from different places. We're so happy to have you at Numaraman Reti. Thank you for coming. If there's anything you need at all for you or your children, just please let us know. Anybody from Numaraman Reti you can ask. Thanks. Let us know. Hare Krishna, Julie. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. So here are a few announcements, things that are happening today and this weekend. Let's see. Today is Friday. So every Friday we go on Harinam downtown Gainesville. We will go today too. Take the Kirtan to the street, and we leave at. We're leaving at 4, so we get there at 4:30. We spend about an hour and 20 minutes at the corner of 13th and University. If you would like to experience Harinam in downtown Gainesville, come to the parking lot at 4 o'clock, and we'll put you in a car, or you'll follow our cars there. Tomorrow is Saturday. There is a huge football game in Tallahassee. That's the university, Florida State University. So there's about 100,000 people come to these games, and we always go on Harinam when they have the big games. So we are leaving the parking lot tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. It's far. Huh? Oh, sorry, not my glasses. 10:30 a.m. We return about 6 o'clock. So it's a jugya. I mean, it's 3 hours to get there, 3 hours to get home, and then probably 3 hours of Harinam. Is that about right? 2 hours of Harinam. It's very ecstatic, though. It is worth it. If you would like to go, take the Kirtan out to the street, then come tomorrow morning, parking lot, 10:30 a.m., or today, parking lot, 4 p.m. Okay, so those are the Harinams that are coming up. The Kirtans for the Holy Name Festival should be posted outside of the lobby, and they're definitely online at the Facebook page for the Festival of the Holy Name. Let's see. I want to mention tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday, Karnapur Prabhu gives an interactive Srimad Bhagavatam class with Srila Prabhupada's lecture. If you'd like to attend that, that's 8 a.m. on Sunday. Gita Jayanti is this coming Tuesday. We kick off our book distribution marathon. There's a lot of ways, devotees in Numaraman Reti, you can get involved in distributing Prabhupada's books for the month of December, one of which is to go door to door with Kalyapani. If you would like to do that, please see him. And, okay, other than that, the Festival of the Holy Name is going on all day for the next 2 days. And I want to mention that Balaram has a new silver club that just came from India, thanks to the donation by Premananda Gaur and his wife Maya Pormalani. It's very beautiful. So we want to thank them very much for that very nice donation. Okay, these are the devotees who assisted their spiritual master dressing the deities today. Shishi Radha Sham Sundar Ramanya Das, Chota Radha Sham Sundar Ananda Navardhini Devi Dasi, Shishi Krishna Balaram Akuti Devi Dasi, Chota Krishna Balaram Manjari Devi Dasi, Shishi Gornitai Jai Gauri Devi Dasi, Chota Gornitai Leela Devi Dasi, the Gurus and Lord Nishingadev, Madhuri Gopi Devi Dasi. And Govinda Dasi is giving class today. Haribol. If you haven't ever watched the following Srila Prabhupada series or the memory tapes, I just tell you Govinda Dasi is one of Srila Prabhupada's first disciples, and she is full of so much Prabhupada nectar. So we're very happy to have her here.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janabhava Ivardhari Gopi Janabhava Gopi Janabhava Gopi Janabhava Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari. My throat is a little. I'm gonna let someone else take over the singing, please, because my throat's not working so good today. Post Thanksgiving throat.
Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astura Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Savai Charna Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Shri Jamna Mai Ki Jai, Shrimati Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Your Lordship Shri Shri Radhasham Sundar Ki Jai, Your Lordship Shri Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai, Your Lordship Shri Shri Gaunitai Ki Jai, Your Lordship Shri Shri Lakshmi Nishingadev Ki Jai, ISKCON New Ramanrati Dham Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Festival Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. So, today we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam.
I have a Prabhu who's going to read the Sanskrit because there's a huge amount. And my throat, he's better at Sanskrit than I am. Anybody's better at Sanskrit than I am. So this Prabhu is going to chant the Sanskrit for me. Thank you.
So you want to do the first verse responsively? Cool. Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Prajumnaiti vikyata Sarvato navamapitu Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Prajumnaiti vikyata Sarvatonya vamapitu Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Prajumnaiti vikyata Sarvatona vamapitu. Please chant. Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Prajumna iti vikyata Sarvato navamatitu Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Pradyumna iti vikyata Sarvato navamapitu. Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Pradyumna iti vikyata Sarvato navamapitu. Ladies. Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Pradyumna iti vikyata Sarvato navamapitu. Saeva jato vaidarbhyam Krishna virya samudbhavaha Pradyumna iti vikyata Sarvato navamapitu. Word for word. Sa, he, eva, indeed, jataha, taking birth, vaidarbhyam, from the daughter of the king of Vidarbha, Krishna virya, by the seed of Lord Krishna, samudbhavaha, generated, pradyumnaha, pradyumna, iti, thus, vikyata, known, Sarvata, in all aspects. Anavama, not inferior. Pitu, to his father.
He took birth in the womb of Vaidarbhi from the seed of Lord Krishna and received the name Pradyumna. In no respect was he inferior to his father.
So, from here we can chant spontaneously, 53, verse 3. Tam sambarakam rupi vritvato kamanirdasham saviditva tamasatrum prasyodanyavadagraham.
The demon Shambar, who could assume any form he desired, kidnapped the infant when he was even 10 days old. Understanding Pradyumna to be his enemy, Shambar threw him into the sea and then returned home. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that according to the Vishnu Purana, Pradyumna was kidnapped on the 6th day after his birth.
4. Tam nirjagara balavam minasapya pashrai saha vrito jalen mahata grihita matsya jivibi.
A powerful fish swallowed Pradyumna, and this fish, along with the others, was caught in a huge net and seized by fishermen.
5. Tam sambaraya kaivarta upajarupayanam sudamahanasam nitva vadyam siddhinatam bhutam.
The fisherman presented this extraordinary fish to Shambar, who had his cooks bring it to the kitchen where they began cutting it with a butcher knife.
Drisvata dudare balam maya vatrainya vedayan narado katayat sarvam tasya sankita chetasaha balasya tattvam upatim matsyodara niveshanam.
Seeing a male child in the belly of the fish, the cooks gave the infant to Mayavati, who was astonished. Narada Muni then appeared and explained to her everything about the child's birth and his entering the fish's abdomen.
7 and 8. What is that? Yes. Okay, so the last 2 verses.
Yeah, this verse also.
Yeah. Sacha kamasya vaipatni ratirna maya shashvini pachur nirdagade hasya deho patim prakishati nirupita sambarena sasudaudana sadane kamadevam shishum buddha chakre sneham tadarbake.
Mayavati was in fact Cupid's renowned wife, Rati. While waiting for her husband to obtain a new body, his previous one having been burnt up, she had been assigned by Shambhara to prepare vegetables and rice. Mayavati understood that this infant was actually Kamadev, and thus she began to feel love for him. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains this story as follows. When Cupid's body was burned to ashes, Rati worshipped Lord Shiva to obtain another body for Cuba. Shambhara, having also come to Shiva for a benediction, was recognized by the Lord first, who told him, "You should now ask for your benediction." Shambhara, struck with lust at seeing Rati, replied that he wanted her as his benediction, and Shiva complied. Lord Shiva then consoled the sobbing Rati, telling her, Go with him, and in his very home you will attain what you desire. Thereupon, Rati bewildered Shambhara with her deluding power, and taking the name Mayavati, remained in his house untouched. So, it's a little hard to comment on this verse. Actually, what I was thinking about was what that sannyasi spoke yesterday. He gave such a wonderful presentation about cow protection and varnashram, and there just seemed to be so much interest in that. I thought that that would be a good topic to continue, since it was such an important topic before Srila Prabhupada left this world. I personally had never heard those 4 points that he mentioned, the 4 movements, and I plan to research that. I guess most of you were here yesterday when he talked about how Srila Prabhupada had planned his worldwide movement in 4 phases. And the first phases, of course, were the Sankirtan and book distribution and establishing temples and having congregations, all of this. But the last phase was establishing a classless society, as he put it, and varnashram. And I've really been interested in this in the last couple of years because I got quite involved in the environmental movement whenever I was... I've been taking care of my mother and dealing with Texas and Texas and Louisiana. There is shale play there and huge fracking. Everybody knows what that is by now, I'm sure. Extracting gas from the earth and destroying the environment. In doing so, it destroys the water. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And so as a result of that, I became very aware of the incredible damage that's being done to the environment and how quickly things are eroding. And the interesting points that the Swami was making was that, which is true, 200 years ago we didn't have this. My grandparents, they had some land, they had a few cows, and they weren't rich. It was during the Depression, so people couldn't afford to kill their animals. They did eat chickens, I guess, but they simply got milk. They had orchards for fruit. They had vegetables, and they had a very limited. Actually, my grandfather was a chief engineer he drove the train, and I guess they used coal or they used wood for burning that to get the steam engines. But now it's. Our society is completely dependent on oil. I mean, we all drive in cars. I drove here. And one of the things that I've learned in my ecological work is that there isn't much oil left. And that's why they're going after the gas now. They're destroying the environment. They're actually destroying the water. I did a lot of study on this. I worked together with a young man who was working for me named Micah, who now is Mukunda Dutt, and he was. We were on television actually a few times on the news channel explaining to the people what fracking would do to their area because there's a shale play where my mother lives. In any case, what it boils down to is, as Prabhupada used to say, oil culture will not last. And the amazing thing is he was saying this back in the 60s, because in the 50s and the 60s, we thought the party was going to go on forever. My daddy had a great big car with the big tail fins. I don't know how many, 5 miles to the gallon. What did they take? You know, it was a time of incredible prosperity after the war. And we all grew up in this. And, of course, now, it's interesting because so many of the things that Srila Prabhupada said are coming to pass. He used to make fun of the money. This paper money, it will become toilet paper, he used to say. It's all fake. And now back then, nobody was talking like this. Nobody had any ideas like this at all. But now, if you go online, you can look up the debt crisis. You can see how they're just printing. Right now, they're keeping it going by keeping the printing press going. And Prabhupada talked about all these things not because he was from this world, but because we're here in this world and we're his disciples, and this is the movement of Lord Chaitanya, and he was trying to inform us, to protect us, and to prepare us for the future. And Varnashram is actually one of the ways. I have a good friend who lives here in town. She's really done a lot of research on the oil crisis, and I've learned a lot of things about this from her, so far as how near we are to the end of this cycle. And some people think it's just a very short time away. I don't know. I'm not a what do you call it, conspiracy theorist or whatever. But I do know that Prabhupada talked about this incessantly, and I think all of the old devotees are aware of this. He talked about this incessantly in the last few years of his life. And in 1976 and 77, I was with him in Bhubaneswar and Puri and Bombay and a few other places. And especially in Bhubaneswar, where there's a farm, he was talking a lot about this the Varnashram and how to implement it. And actually, it's a little hard to understand. I've had to read it over a few times, and the devotees then obviously didn't get it. I mean, you can read it and it's like, huh? And they're like grasping. And the same thing, I also. But I think there's some important statements that Prabhupada made so far as from the cities to the villages. He said things like improve rural organization so city people will be attracted. Farm, 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 farm. Well, at that time, nobody was even thinking about leaving the cities and going to farm. That became a kind of a hippie era thing a little bit later on. But at the time, Prabhupada, by then, by 1977, there were some hippie communes. There were some people who were a little ahead of the times. They left the cities and went to the country. But what's interesting, what I find really interesting is that he's actually saying, I'm ready to take the movement in a new direction. And that direction, of course, is Varnashram. And he's actually talking about this, and I don't know if this book is still even available, but I'm sure some of the statements are. He's saying in a letter to Kartikeya Mahadevya, who is one of his devotees in India, now our next program will be to organize farming land, to set an example to the whole world how people can be peaceful, happy, and free from all anxieties simply by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and living an honorable life in Krishna consciousness. In India especially, people are religiously inclined. They like to live in a village and also like to love Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. So he's saying that he is moving in this direction, and even at the very last, he was saying in Vrindavan, I didn't get to introduce Varnashram Dharma, if you read some of the statements that he was making. And then you start wondering, well, what exactly is Varnashram Dharma? And it's, in here, from what I've read, and believe me, my understanding is not perfect, but he was realizing that he was just trying to, he was saying, I don't want to say what he's realizing, he was saying that I've tried to introduce the Brahminical class, but that's not working out so well because so many in the West didn't have the ability to stick to the standard of a Brahminical class. because of our background, our upbringing, and so forth. But that now he was saying, I want to introduce a little bit different system where everyone can be benefited simply by doing whatever is your natural duty, whether it's being a farmer or being a milkman or being whatever is your natural tendency, and offering the results to Krishna, which is, of course, Bhagavad Gita philosophy. So he was interested in promoting this, and it's a little, and of course the farming is important because, just like my friend was explaining to me at the time that Cuba was, I don't know, most of you are pretty young, but there was a time when there was an embargo where Cuba was just cut off from the world because of their philosophy of communism or some politics, that part I don't know. In any case, the people in Cuba, she was explaining that the people in Cuba, the professionals suffered the worst because they had an artificial system built up, just like we do. And the farmers became the highest paid of all because everybody needs food. When it really comes down to it, if all of the trimmings were removed, the important thing in a human society is to have water, good water, food, and be able to pursue religious life. And this is what he was saying that the future will bring. And of course, he wanted us to have farms and to protect the cow. And there are a number of statements. Farm project is very nice. Krishna gives. Krishna go raksha vanyam. Vanijyam. Vaishya karma Sabhavajam, Bhagavad Gita, 1844. Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas. That is the economic problem is solved. This program will be to organize farming land to set an example for the whole world. Again and again, he's reiterating this plan. Unfortunately, it kind of fell through the cracks after Srila Prabhupada left. There was a lot of confusion, and this Varnashram system just didn't get emphasized. And now I was really appreciating what the Swami said. Yes, I can remember back when Prabhupada came to Hawaii in the 70s, there was an oil crisis. We had to get up at 5 in the morning and go and sit in the line at a gas station waiting for, so we could get our ration of gas in order to go see Prabhupada every day. And so we did. But I mean, that has happened before. It's happened in other countries. It is happening even now in some other countries. So I think what we have to do is we have to have our spiritual life that's our main thing, but we can't just we have to have our feet on the ground with our head in the clouds, in the sense that we need to be aware of what's going on in the world and how it can impact our community, how it can impact our children, our grandchildren, and so forth. And so, are there any more questions or comments?
I have a question. So it seems like most people in our movement don't know how to take care of... Can you hear? It seems like most people in our movement don't know how to take care of cows or to ride an ox cart. I know I don't. I have some experience with cows, but not much. And so do you think that should be kind of some... Well, let me rephrase that. What do you think is the best practical way that we can inject this into our society? Because it does seem, well, from what I've seen, I've been to almost every community in the country, in Canada almost too, on traveling Sankirtan, and I don't see much use of oxen and cows at this point. So, how do you see this practically happening, or
you mean what do we do from here? Is that your saying?
What do we do from here?
That's what you're saying.
That's
well, the
my
first
question.
thing that we all really need to do with all the things that Prabhupada had to say about Varnashram in the latter part of his life, especially 75, 76, 77. He basically said, I am taking the society in a new direction. These are some of his words. And, there are the Amish communities in Pennsylvania and other places. I met an Amish guy on a train once, many, many years ago, and I was asking him about their lifestyle and so forth, and he says, well, we haven't changed. You have changed. You guys have changed. We're still doing the same things we were doing 300 years ago. And they make it work. And, of course, unfortunately, they are not vegetarians. That's the tragedy of it. But they do have some very good ideas, and they live quite well. They're completely equipped with food, herbs, medicines, if you've ever been to an Amish community. They're setting an example already. We can learn from examples like that. And, of course, there are other devotees I've heard who are setting up Varnashram communities. I heard there's one in Fiji going in. And then online, Nandalal, one of my godsisters, has a Vedic villages group where there are various devotees already all over America and other places who are just independently got some land, setting up, and they chant Hare Krishna, and they have an altar, and they're doing what they're trying to start some type of farming community. So there are people out there doing this. But I think that so far as doing it as a religious organization, ISKCON itself, we kind of dropped the ball on this after Prabhupada left. Prabhupada was emphasizing this every single day. He was talking about it. But there was so much confusion and conflict for about 10 years after he left, which is normal. That's described in the Bhagavatam. That the important things that he stressed kind of fell through the cracks. And now the 11th hour is approaching, and we really need to get serious about Varnashram. Study what Prabhupada has said. Look at the examples. There are examples of communities. I don't know how I would incorporate it into my life. I'm not a farmer, but I assume that I would have some really strong godbrothers who are farmers. And in that way, supposing I may just sit and draw pictures for the children, and somebody else is out with the oxen plowing the fields, and somebody else is teaching the children, and somebody else is doing it. So Prabhupada envisioned that kind of village culture. He said it's worked for thousands of years, and people were happy. And what the Swami was saying yesterday, that it is only in the last 200 years since the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was a big, giant step forward in the age of Kali. I mean, it was... that was really the thing that took us into another age, so to speak. At the same time, we have the blessings of fast travel by airplanes so that we can fly all over the world, and Prabhupada flew around the world 11 or 12 times, right? And we've got telecommunications, which made it nice. We've got printing presses. We didn't have that then. You'd have to do it by hand. And so there have been some, actually, I've heard that he at times said that this technology was created for us so that we could spread Lord Chaitanya's movement. And, of course, the Internet is the best thing yet. I don't know what's going to come next. But anyway, these things have their virtues. They certainly have their downside. And there's no debating whether they're good or bad. We use them every day. We all go online every day. We all use cars every day. But the fact is, we don't know when it's going to end, and it could end overnight, and we may not be prepared. What was it? This lady was telling me that if you were in the Houston Astrodome, or a huge football stadium with bleachers, and you were at the top row of the seats, and a drop of water was coming every minute into the ground. into the. It's like a. I don't know if you know what the Houston Astrodome is. It's a great big, huge theater for sports. And it's expanding exponentially. One drop expanding to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. How long would it take for it to fill up? Most people would think, oh, days, years. It would take 24 hours. So the problem is that the problems are expanding exponentially. Look at the oil and the gas that's used every day. The planes are flying over constantly. There's the military. The military uses it. So we don't know at what point this culture could, come to a gas rationing stage like it has in the past. So the main thing is to, as I said, study what Prabhupada has said, because he does have the Vaksiddhi. That means you be able to speak and it comes true. You'll be able to see the future, and that future is accurate. And we all know this. We've seen it over the years. Study what he has to say about Varnashram, and then find a way to implement it in whatever ways that we can. That's, I think, Pranagovinda.
I was recalling Maharaj's yesterday, Sripad Bhakti Raghav Maharaj's class. He made a very nice point that people has to be educated why we need Varnashram first. If the desire is very strong, then implementation will be easier. Otherwise, we are only convincing ourselves, or maybe little bit part of ISKCON, not really everybody is convinced. So Maharaj made a very distinct. He says, there's a two nature the soul has. One is original nature. Yesterday he was mentioning that constitutionally our eternal position has an inherent nature called love for God.
Yeah.
And that is there, intact. It's never going to be changed by anybody, or it will never be. And that is there. To revive that, we have to point out that each soul in conditional state are influenced by three modes of material nature. And so long one is not pure devotee, they are under the influence of three modes. And one is compelled to act by those modes because they are inborn.
Yes.
That's what Krishna told to 18th chapter 60 verse. Svabhava jena kunteo nibaddha sena karmana. Kartum nechyoshi janmohat karishyasi avasha apita. You are compelled to do what you are born to do. You cannot escape from it. So in order to bring everybody to Krishna consciousness platform, they should be given a privilege. Whatever contamination of three modes they are born with, there has a shelter that, okay, I want to make money. Okay, the society allows me to have a business and make money. Then when my nature, this assumed nature, not eternal nature, assumed nature is fulfilled, then I can chant and contribute my duty to serve the Lord and bring others to Krishna consciousness. All these things can be done. So therefore everybody has to come to a peaceful engagement with their contamination. So Varnashram is compulsory, necessary for the outsider. Like Prabhupada said, outsider means the whole world. Those who are already dedicated, for them it is not necessary at this moment, but for being merciful to others, also for our own situation comfortable, is necessary. Like when devotee asked Prabhupada, we can't buy the milk. And Pundarik Prabhu says this, that Prabhupada said, why? He said, oh, they mix lard and all kinds of chemical. Prabhupada said, that's all right, I want milk. He was aware that there is some chemical. I thought I'm speaking loud. Oh, sorry. So then they bought the milk with the lard things. Prabhupada said, that's all right, you heat it up, I'll drink it. Milk is always good. It's good for the brain. And Prabhupada took it. He gave importance of drinking milk, how important.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, they've just proven that A2 milk is better than the regular milk. That's all. I still drink the regular milk, but all of these things are, of course, we still have our own. I mean, you have your business, and somebody else has their service, and somebody else has their children or whatever service. It's not that we stop doing that, but we try to go into the direction that Prabhupada has suggested, and especially the young ones, the ones who are into environmental. There's a lot of young people in the environmental movement right now because they see that it's going to collapse, and they're going to be here a lot longer than us. So we find ways of preaching in an environmental way. That's we approach it. In other words, our spiritual master talks about these things. So why not tell the world, well, this is what our spiritual master had to say about this. There's thousands of people talking about the ecology, the fracking, the money printing, the fiasco about the paper money. Prabhupada, he talked about these things all the time. So we have a really, really good preaching platform. Somebody was telling me, I was at breakfast at Varuna's the other day, and he was saying he went to one of the lectures by Radhanath Swami, and people paid $15 or $20 to come. And he talked about ecology, didn't talk about Krishna consciousness, talked about ecology, talked about the problems of the world, talked about all these things that I've just been talking about. And he had everyone's attention. And then at the end of the talk, then he said, would you like to learn a yoga exercise? And all the people were like, totally, we're in agreement with you. You're on our page. Yeah, we want to learn one. Okay, put your hands together like this and repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And Varuna was saying, everybody in the whole auditorium that paid to come hear the ecology lecture was saying, it was like this. And then he said, then he talked a little more. He said, would you like to learn another yoga asana, another yoga exercise? And they're, yeah, we would, right? And so he says, okay, this one's a little different. What you do is you put your arms up, and everybody stands up, and everybody stood up. Put your arms up, and then you move one foot over the other, and the other. And at the same time, and this takes concentration now, at the same time, you repeat after me, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, we have a format, just like in the early days, we had a different format because society allows for this. And ecology is one of the best ones because people are, they're worried. There's a lot of the young people are worried. Anyway, I'm talking too long, and I know a lot of people aren't interested in this. I think half of the battle is to get people interested in it because we haven't been. And, nobody wants to hear bad news. We want to think the party's going to go on forever. But, Prabhupada warned us that the party's not going to go on forever, meaning the oil-based culture that we live in. Any questions? I think it's 9 o'clock, and I'm sorry this sounded so mundane, but it's no. Actually, tears came to my eyes when I was watching that, and I know other devotees did too. That when I saw the cows yesterday and I all of a sudden I said, "Oh, that's what the vegan movement is doing. It's actually causing cows to become unimportant. It's a tragedy, really." Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, wait, there's something in there. Very valuable book. I have to protect it by putting it into a plastic bag. I borrowed it from someone.
I'm Julie. Julie? Yes. And I live in Delray Beach, New York, and I just came for the festival. But do you like me? No. But I will be. You're kidding. Don't look silly. But right now, I'm moving with the wife. Well, I live in Delray Beach, which is on the other coast here, on the east coast, Florida. Yeah, it's on the ocean side by Miami, you know.